Hi Melissa, thanks so much for joining us here at Blue Notes. You're the first athlete to represent Australia in both the Olympics and Paralympics in the same year, and only the third one worldwide. It's a tremendous achievement. I'd like you to tell us a little bit about your saying that you mentioned before about you either win or you learn. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I guess that certain saying, you either win or you learn, sort of stuck with me over the times, and basically you can go into a lot of different things, and for me into a match, and you ultimately see it as you either win or a loss. But I like to look at it, if I don't come out with the win, what have I learned from it? And by looking back on matches that I haven't been successful, by looking at what things I did do well, what I can work on for next one. So it continually am working on positive things. So when the important times come, I've had plenty of mistakes made, but I've learnt from them. And when it comes down to little instances, I feel like I have an edge and will be able to do my best.
You also mentioned about doing the 1%ers and how much that's helped you over the journey. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, for me, 1%ers have been a massive thing to help me improve and get to where I have been. So in terms of a little 1%er, doing the little things when people aren't watching, the little things that over time you do 100 of them, you have 100% more in your bag than what you did before, and those little improvements over time make a big difference. And for me, little 1%ers were, working really hard in the gym, even when my teammates or my coaches aren't around, nutrition-wise, just tweaking a few things, ensuring I have enough energy, and little things as well that were around home, ensuring that my home life was happy and comfortable, and that I can make the most out of everything, and little changes gave me big reward.
So you're not really focusing on a gold medal, you sound like you're focusing on smaller goals?
I'm focusing on taking little steps, taking my process, and by implementing each little thing along the way. The ultimate goal is a gold medal, but if I'm able to achieve these little milestones and tick these little steps off at the end, I believe the gold medal result will happen.
Melissa, you're obviously resilient. You've had the ups and downs of a sporting career. Is that something you've learnt along the way?
Yeah, resilience I think is a really common theme that transfers through athletes and obviously a lot of successful people. But I've had a lot of mistakes that I've made. I've had a lot of areas where I've, in a sense, not achieved what I wanted to, and it's been really heartbreaking. But by taking that and seeing what I can do for next time to not have that same feeling, to have a feeling of success, I would be able to look at it and then work even harder to try and achieve success. So constantly, another saying's from Michael Jordan, he has failed so many times, and that's why he succeeds. So I believe it's important that you're willing to get back up. After falling 7 times, you get back up the 8th time, and the more you try and stay positive and have that outlook, the more resilient and, in a sense, easier it will become.
At work, Melissa, we've got multiple things that we're juggling. Yourself, you're married, you've got a family life, you've got to work, you're going to the Paralympics and the able-body games. How do you prioritise and how do you cope with all those different things in your life?
Yeah, that's definitely been something I've had to work on a lot over time, and having time management has been huge. But the last sort of 8 months has been very table tennis focused for me, and that's been good to just focus on my table tennis. But then in return, I ended up qualifying for both the Olympics and Paralympics. So I then had to look at what my main goal was, and that's to medal at the Paralympics. So then we work backwards from there in terms of my training, and the Olympics runs about a month before the Paralympics. So for me at the Olympics, the big goal is going to be getting into the venue, understanding what it feels like to be in there, and then trying to perform at my best at the Olympic Games. And just having an understanding of what I want to achieve and then being able to work backwards from there has definitely helped. And yeah, my diary is my absolute lifesaver.
Melissa, thanks so much for joining us on Blue Notes.
Thank you very much for having me.